It'll hang off. I think I can just get it in there. We're gonna need a bigger boat with a bigger oven.
Just to make your steak.
Just to make steak.
Last time aboard Freedom, Sean and I got underway before dawn to complete a first test of our new FLIR night vision system. The conditions were ideal, so it appeared to work great, giving us a 90-degree arc of visibility to spot debris, and most importantly, to try to help curb Sean's troublesome nighttime seasickness. After enjoying an incredible day on the water and making some preparations for Sean's big birthday dinner, we dropped anchor in Fisherman's Bay on Lopez Island, here in the San Juan Islands. We took a stroll through the Lopez Island village, enjoyed a birthday cocktail, and found sheep on a leash before heading back to Freedom to confirm what we had been suspecting for several weeks.
Our batteries are toast, so I'm researching what we're going to replace them with. We're going to go with lithium, but there's a host of other adjustments and changes I need to do to accommodate it. So looking at alternators, alternator regulators, new inverter charger, additional charger. So I'm putting together a list of parts and prices and a plan and a strategy. And a little overwhelming, but once it's done, it'll be a nice upgrade, nice improvement.
So how long will the new batteries last versus, because we've only had our batteries for how long?
3 years we've had our batteries. Lithium should last about 3 times as long as what the AGM did, 3 to maybe 4 or 5, and they're less sensitive. The AGM, you significantly shorten their life cycle if you discharge them more than 50%. It's hard to bring them back to 100% state of charge because the last 15% or so, the charging tapers off so much because there's a lot of resistance in the battery at that point. So lithium will be nice because we can kind of abuse them. We're not the best about bringing batteries up to 100% state of charge and keeping our eye on, making sure we don't exceed 50% depth of discharge. So I think lithium will be nice in that regard.
Any downsides that you know of so far?
They're expensive. They're expensive, and you got to do your homework. They're all protected by BMS, so the battery will take itself offline if there's any irregularities in charging or discharging. But you need to keep that in mind. You don't want the batteries to obviously go offline at a critical time. So making sure that we have the right safeguards in place, so our boat doesn't go dark, is important.
Yeah.
But I think we'll be in good shape.
And from a workload, like your list is so big, how do you feel about this project?
I think I'm going to do it in 2 stages. I think I'm going to do our current inverter. We can change the charge parameters and it'll work with the new batteries. However, our alternator will not. So I'm going to look at putting a controller on either our existing alternator or getting a new alternator and controller to get our 12-volt charging working correctly, and then get the batteries installed, and then the inverter charger can come later as a secondary priority.
What type of, is this a week project? Long weekend?
The battery swap is the easiest because they have the same form factor and all the terminals are in the same place. So just the exchange of the batteries can probably be done in a couple hours, but the alternator and adding the regulator to it, that may be a day or so to get that wired up and configured. And then the inverter project might be a couple days. Swapping the inverter itself isn't so bad, but we need to put a new head unit or control for the inverter up at the pilot house and run wiring between the pilot house and the lazarette. So that's going to be the biggest challenge. It's just kind of tearing the boat apart to fish wires back and forth between here and back there.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Fired up. We are leaving Fisherman's Bay here in the middle of Lopez Island, and we're going to go to Makai Harbor. I think that's how you say it. I really have no idea. It's at the very south end of Lopez Island. We've never been. We've always wanted to go. We've read on Active Captain that in Makai Bay or Makai Harbor there is a dock, like a boat launch, and maybe a general store, we think, within walking distance. So hopefully we can get off the boat and explore the island on the south end and see what else we find. So another gray day, it's dry, so off we go. Arrived in Makai Harbor, and it's nice, calm anchorage. Our wind over the next week looks amazing, which is why we chose here. And I think the boat launch is over there. And coming in here, there were quite a few deadheads and logs, so we were on the lookout the entire trip. But luckily we didn't hit anything. Always a good thing. And even more debris of all over here. Once we got settled in, our first order of business was getting to shore to explore and to see what the south end of Lopez Island has to offer. Plus, we had to get our steps in to earn that 4.5-pound monstrosity Sean's cooking up for dinner. And literally right up the hill and make a quick left, make a right, and there's the market. The South End Market and Cafe. The cafe is closed today, but the market is open. You might have to check it out. If you need some basic provisions, this is a great pit stop, just steps from the public dock. Continuing past the market put us on a long and scenic walking route with plenty of things to see along the way to make us appreciate island life, like roadside eggs, flowers, and pretty farms.
What do you think the cow's name is?
The cow's name is Bessie. They're all named Bessie.
How about Gerda?
Gerda? Gertie?
Although I feel bad if anybody sees this and her name is Bessie, Gerda, Birdie.
Hi! out there. Looking good. Bye. After another 30 minutes or so, we ended right back where we began in Makai Harbor, where we had the entire bay to ourselves. One of the joys of off-season cruising here in the San Juan Islands. I got 9,900 problems, and steps ain't one. Well, that was a great little hike, hour and a half or so. So we're gonna wrap up our day and the weekend, head back to Freedom, and finally get that tennis racket out of the fridge and onto the grill. I can't wait to see how that turns out. Big old tomahawk steak, 4.5 pounds.
We're gonna be eating tomahawk all week.
Tomahawk all week.
Tomahawk steaks, tomahawk tacos,
Tomahawk soup.
soup,
Tomahawk
tomahawk tamales,
tamales.
tomahawk tostadas.
Grilled tomahawk, baked tomahawk.
If you didn't know, a tomahawk steak is essentially a ribeye specifically cut with at least 5 inches of rib bone left intact. The extra long, French trim bone utilizes the same culinary technique that shapes a rack of lamb, so it looks like a handle.
So do you know what? Do you know what you're doing?
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. We'll figure this out.
Does that even fit on the pan?
The steak?
Yeah.
Well, it'll hang off. I think I can just get it in there. We're gonna need a bigger boat with a bigger oven.
Just to make your steak.
Steak. I'm getting a little help tonight from my friend, the meter. A smart thermometer that lets me know exactly when the meat is done based on how I like it. It's a must-have in every galley. Alright, I'm gonna hit start cook. Then let's take this thing out to the grill. Alright, I'm going to do about 3 minutes. I'm going to turn it 90 degrees so I can get kind of a cross grill mark on it for another 3 minutes. Then I'll flip it over, do a 3 and 3, and then take it in and put it in the oven.
For how long and for what temp?
Whatever the meter says. So the oven's at about 450-ish. I'm guessing it'll be 20 minutes-ish. This was quite a fatty piece of meat, so once I calmed the grease inferno, I was ready to get her in the oven at 450 degrees until the meter told me she was done to the selected doneness. It fits. Fits good, actually. It's like it was made for this Force 10 oven. So I'm going to start prepping the asparagus so we know when to put that in based on how long the steak's going to take. If there was ever any question about the gourmet cooking capabilities in the galley of a 43-foot Nordhavn, let there be no further question. I think we're well timed. The tomahawk has 4 minutes remaining, and the asparagus will be done in 6. So I'll give a couple minutes to carve the tomahawk, and we can pull the asparagus out and start eating. Everything will be done at the same time.
Chef Sean.
Chef Sean. mushrooms will be done in 6 minutes as well.
In all honesty, this expensive beast of a steak looked more impressive and delicious than it tasted. Elizabeth didn't care for it much since it was quite fatty, and she's mostly a herbivore. And I thought it was good, but not as good as a typical ribeye. Although making this aboard Freedom was a fun and unique Sunday dinner experience, both of us agreed that we don't need to make this again anytime soon.
We are moving on today to our next stop. It's a total washout. I think it's going to be raining most of the day. We've had 3 solid days with no rain, so grateful for that. But since it's raining, we're just going to move on. We didn't get great internet coverage here in Makai Harbor, but we're really sad to leave Lopez. This harbor specifically has been amazing. I highly recommend it. It's more protected than we thought. We thought it would be more open, so we waited for a good weather window, wind weather window. But it's been amazing. It's beautiful. It's very secluded, very private. Only 1 sailboat showed up yesterday. And it's got great shore access to see more of Lopez Island, which is a fantastic island. So if you've yet to explore it, we highly recommend it. So we'll be moving on. We're not sure yet where we're headed. As always, we kind of wing it and on our way. We always have, plan A, B, and C. So we're not sure yet. But we got another week or so at anchor, and then we'll head back to our home port and get started on all those projects that we don't necessarily want to do, but we kind of have to do. So that's that. Rain, moving on. Coffee.
Start it up.
By the end of the week, spring had sprung just in time for our cruise back to our home port. But first, we had to finally check out Skyline Marina, a great overnight stop on Fidalgo Island with some pretty awesome views of the San Juans. This is great. I can't believe we've never been here. And since we're by the fuel dock, I'm gonna go check out the price of diesel. I am super curious. I don't even know what it's like in Seattle right now. We don't fill up that often. Thank goodness, maybe twice a year. But, guessing $5.29. $5.39 for diesel, 47 cents tax, so $5.39 plus 47 cents is, 86. $5.86. That is one really good thing about Freedom. 1,200 gallons of gas.
Oops.
She'd go about 3,000 nautical miles, meaning we don't have to fill up that much. Just hoping the fuel doesn't get too much higher. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see what's coming up next aboard Freedom, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We'll see you next time.
Start it up.